Hello YouTube and welcome to EverGreenCoin Community Meeting and Hangout, July 29th, 2017. Okay, and on the call we have Mike, Kyle, and Bo. And Bo stepped away from his desk for a moment, but anyway, we can get started. Um, the biggest issue is the Bitcoin Talk thread, of course. For the sake of the recording, I'll recap that the EverGreenCoin Bitcoin Talk announcement thread was locked by the moderator. Unknowingly, EverGreenCoin did break a rule with their Bitcoin Talk signature campaign by requesting having a clause in one of our rules. The rule is for 10 posts, but we have a clause that asks for one of those posts to be in the announcement thread. That violates a rule of Bitcoin Talk. And in actuality, they could have deleted the announcement thread, and they could have banned the EverGreenCoin user. The moderator did think that that was overkill for EverGreenCoin, so he just locked the thread and deleted the signature campaign announcement also. So, we do realize we do need an announcement thread. One is being worked on. I have been revising. We mentioned this the previous meeting last week of revising the roadmap. I do think we can go ahead and revise it for this new announcement that we'll be making. You guys can see my screen, right?
I can.
Okay, I'm looking at the roadmap. You're seeing the roadmap?
No, I'm seeing you.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second, please. Okay. So anyway, the roadmap. A revision to the roadmap, and the biggest or the only really change per se of the roadmap is we slid the solar staker back 1/4 in all the quarters, in the second, third, and fourth quarter, putting us at a more realistic or more current outlook of the solar staker. On the note of the solar staker, I have had some very good success with a new voltage regulator that I've been using. I've been running for 4 days non-stop, or my chip has. So I'm very happy about that, because I've been running into a lot of problems, and I think a lot of it did come from the voltage regulator I was using. It would give readings of like 11.8, and when I would check it with a multimeter, it would be like 11.5 actually. So I'm not sure if there was maybe some tolerance area that I was finding a problem with or whatever, but the new regulator, which it's basically out of a cigarette lighter car adapter for the USB port. One of those hacked apart basically, but it's been working a lot better. And there's actually a lot of benefits to that if I can make it work better with that. Obviously, that's going to be a lot cheaper component than the $12 voltage regulator that I was using. And it's voltage regulator and solar panel tender and well, it will do some other it monitors the solar panels, the battery, and it has an output, a USB output. but it will kill the USB output when it thinks battery supply is too low. And I believe that's the issue I was running into with it. But again, it's working a lot better on that note anyway. Let's see, okay, price. Maybe we should touch on that real quick. So yeah, we're at 3,300 Satoshi. I believe a lot of this, this is going on through a lot of the altcoins, many of them, if not all of the altcoin market. A lot of people are dumping their altcoins to get Bitcoin in preparation for August 1st, when Bitcoin will hard fork, and so they'll double up. They'll have their Bitcoin, and they'll have this new fork, which would be called Bitcoin Cash. So a lot of people are selling their altcoins to get all their liquidity or whatever in Bitcoin. So when this happens on August 1st, they'll have the biggest amount of Bitcoin they can, the largest amount of Bitcoin they can on both of these chains once they hard fork. So I do think after that happens, the altcoin markets are going to see a lot of action as people rebuy from coins they sold. And as they have new money from dumping their Bitcoin Cash, which I believe is what a lot of people are going to do as soon as they can, probably. Let's see. Okay, so those are the hot things. I mean, the Bitcoin Talk thread, yeah, I mean, that was a bit devastating to myself personally, honestly. I was pretty upset about that, of course. But be that as it may, I guess we've learned some things about, well, I mean, I guess personally and from a business perspective, we've learned that we cannot rely on Bitcoin Talk as a communication method for our community. That's the biggest thing that concerns me.
I second that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that really concerns me. So what are we going to do? Well, yes, we are going to have an announcement thread, but we will not be relying on it as heavily as we have in the past. We will be moving all that announcement, things like that, will be happening on EverGreenCoin.org, where we do have control over not deleting our own things. Or not locking things, and that's not meant to censor anyone in any of the forums. I probably would never censor anyone, and the only exception might be if you I mean, I guess if you harass someone or threaten someone in one of the forums, that might not, or if you spam some referral links, that might need removed, but by no means do I aim to censor anyone. But the business communications and things like that, we can't rely on Bitcoin Talk for that. And we can't rely on getting our information out on a service that may or may not allow that information to get out. So I guess everyone get in the habit right now. I'll tell you, get in the habit of getting your information from evergreencoin.org. Okie dokie. Sound good, guys?
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I guess I could go over the roadmap in a little bit detail. I mean, you can see from this roadmap. Wait, let me share screens once again. Sorry. You can see from this roadmap. I mean, we have been very busy. Look at first quarter and second quarter there. I mean, I don't think anyone can be upset by anything on this roadmap, past or future, of the third quarter and fourth quarter coming up here. Um, Big things in the third quarter is Gold claim. Bo's going to be spending a lot of time on that, of course. The big things for me, from my perspective, is the solar staker and the legal of forming the legal nonprofit here in the United States, a 501c3, they call it, uh, and delivering water to Flint. So in the third quarter, those basically are my focuses to some degree. Not that there won't be other things worked on. Uh, the fourth quarter, I have the version 1.7 wallet. That might actually happen in the third quarter as well. But I ran out of room on my slide, so I had to put it in the fourth. That's not the real reason, but uh, that's where it is. It might happen sooner, though. Of course, no one's going to complain if we get things done sooner. So, and in the fourth quarter, that's when hopefully the focus can be brought to the web wallets and everything that we talked about with the web wallets of staking users' coins via Solar and no transaction fees on what I'm calling intra wallet transactions. So you could send from your evergreencoin.org wallet, you could send to another evergreencoin.org wallet and pay no fee for that transaction.
What all do you have going in the? Damn it.
I'm sorry? Oh,
I missed that.
I think he's having mic problems. 1.7. Okay, well, that's some a lot of things for charity. The biggest focus will be staking for charity, integrating, grabbing a list, basically, essentially, grabbing a list from the web server of current charities and the addresses they would be staked to. And when you go to stake in your wallet, when you go to staking for charity, you would see a list of current charities, organizations, whatnot that you can stake for or send direct donations to. But we'll be able to change that on the web server. So we'll be able to change that on the fly. If we have a new charity come on board, we will be able to add it instantly, essentially. People would see that in their wallet without having to update their wallet or anything like that. And this was something that we came about when we first introduced charity staking. And I haven't lost sight of that at all. Not at all. But Focus hasn't been able to do that as of yet, anyway. So. As far as what else might be in 1.7, I mean, I'm open to things for sure. If anyone has any suggestions or things, I mean, no, it will not have master nodes. I can tell you that right now before someone asks me. But if anyone's open to anything, I mean, as far as the master nodes thing, we already have proof of stake. Actually, me personally, I kind of I kind of do not like a structure like paying people that actually have more, paying them more. Like, you know, with what you get with a master node, you get compensated more. Uh, I would rather just stick to 7% for everyone, whether you have one evergreen coin or you have a million. You'll still get just the 7%. I don't want to. I would rather not. Uh, Essentially compensate people that hold more, reward them better, or give them something that I would like everyone to be on a level playing field, basically. All wallets, anyway, that is. One thing I guess I should, for the sake of the recording, one thing with the Bitcoin talk locking, some of the people in the Slack, they were, I'm not sure if they're wanting to see a new announcement faster, or what they're, I guess, not happy with the response EverGreenCoin has had to that. I did tweet within 24 hours of the locking. I did announce in the Slack. I did announce in the IRC. I did announce in the Telegram uh, what the moderator had said. I summarized basically saying what the moderator had said, and did let the community know that a new announcement would be made, or some action would happen. At that point, 24 hours, I wasn't sure that what that action might be, and honestly, I was hoping that the moderator might realize the mistake, I think. So I did hold out for a little bit before doing anything in hopes of the moderator unlocking the thread, but it does seem that that's not a possibility, unfortunately. So I think some people in the Slack wanted more information about that, but you know, EverGreenCoin is I am trying to form a nonprofit. A nonprofit is a business. As far as public communication, which yes, Slack, IRC, all of these, they are public. As far as releasing public reaction to that, I mean, I do have to look at that from a business perspective. A nonprofit is a business. So please bear that in mind. Okay, let's see.
I was quite surprised.
Oh, go ahead, Kyle, please. I'd love to hear it. Please.
Yeah, I was quite surprised the thread was locked, and I did some quick research to see why it may have been, and it didn't appear like he would have broken any rules. And I tried to find the rules, and the rules basically, I don't think he broke any rules.
No, we did.
And
we did, though. Actually, we did, because we
But
we offered to pay people to post a reply in our announcement thread.
so that was like a technicality then.
Exactly, and no damage no damage came from it. You know.
So it wasn't because you were offering bounties, or you were offering coins to post pictures of trees or anything like that. It was that technicality of
yes,
the signature campaign.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was the clause that specifically said at least one post being in the announcement thread. You know, it's the rule said 10 minimum, and then we have a clause on that rule saying at least one be in the announcement thread. That's where we broke the law, or broke the rule.
Oh, okay.
Freaking
Man, a warning would have been nice.
Yeah, it would have been, and there was no damage done. No one posted in the announcement thread for being paid. No one posted in the announcement thread with the expectation of being paid. They could have really warned us, and no damage was caused. You know, the announcement thread does not have any post in it anywhere, and it's 213 pages. Does it have any posts of someone posting that got paid for, or with the expectation of being paid? So it is unfortunate that the moderator's not. I mean, but supposedly he did give us some leniency and not delete the announcement
It,
thread.
it's still there, so I guess that's
Yes,
something.
yes, exactly. That is the
Yeah.
silver lining or whatever
Now,
that I am happy about, because that history is in my eyes is a testament, and many testaments to uh, EverGreenCoin and the honesty of the project, and the honesty and integrity that I have maintained throughout that history. Uh, and to see that having to be locked is, it is saddening for me. Yes.
yeah, one good point though may be that we can discover our weaknesses and fix those.
Right. Yes.
Start gravitating towards another communication means.
Yes. Is we have to do
Which,
that.
which,
We
which,
have to do. We have no choice about that. We
which,
do have to do that.
yeah,
Yes. And another weakness is, I guess, and I do admit this. A community member joined the Slack. This was 5 or 6 weeks ago, and asked for that clause to be added, and I did. Well, first we discussed it with all the, everyone else chimed in. Alberto chimed in, Bo chimed in, Joe chimed in rather. Sorry. Everyone agreed. Yeah, it sounded like a good thing to add, and so it was added. I guess I have to admit the fault of not reviewing that rule, or catching this myself and actually posting it. So I have to accept that blame. So, and I do apologize for it. So yeah, we have to. There is much to be learned from this, honestly, and from many perspectives. But the lessons from the business perspective are very vivid and very loud. But lesson learned. And I guess that's, my stance on it, or whatever. And I did want to get that in the recording. So yeah, the roadmap. I mean, I think they're in the first quarter and second quarter is pretty evident of, yes, a lot of work has been going on. It's been actually a very busy year. We've accomplished a lot of things this year already. So 2017 is definitely shaping up to be an exciting year for EverGreenCoin. So let's see, what else can we talk about here, guys? Oh well, I guess the urban farm in Kansas City. Joe, the guy there, has been continuing to work on that. He's talking about grafting some fruit trees and selling those for his urban farm. So that's kind of cool. He's continuing to work on that. So uh, excited to see what happens with that, and if other, it'd be awesome. I mean, to see this happen in other communities, of course, too. And so,
I think urban farming is a great concept,
oh
a
yeah,
great thing to do.
right, yeah, yeah, and if we can
Fantastic.
help, yeah, and if we can help them out with running crowd funds or anything like that, very eager. We are very eager to do that. Yes.
Yeah. Distribute our food resources, our sources for food all over the place.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, and there's all kinds of, I mean, obviously there's advantages for EverGreenCoin, but for the community and whatever, they, they'll be able to, if they want to crowdfund some money together so they can pay some kids in the community to remove a bunch of trash from a lot or something like that. It can give those kids an honest pay first off, I guess, and a lesson maybe in economics and specifically to Kansas City, this community, give them an option to make an honest dollar rather than slinging drugs and whatnot. I mean, I don't think they'll necessarily be employed or anything like that, but for odd jobs and things like that, I mean, I see plenty of potential for that. And in my discussions with Joe, he agrees that we should try to do that. Yeah, we have we have one shirt to give away, though. Not two, right? Oh, Bo can't talk. Bo's mute.
Yeah, I have to take the headset off my head because I can only hear myself. We have two because I got one with the with PayPal and I got one with BGC.
Yeah, but you're saying we have two to give away. We don't have two to give away.
I only have two.
We only have one to give away. And we only have two entries. Your two entries. Those are the only two.
That's only worth one?
That's only for one shirt.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is we give those away to someone.
Oh, you want to give away the raffle? Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
The raffle ticket, yeah.
Yeah, obviously we're gonna continue that for another month, I would presume. And yeah, we can give those entries away somehow. I don't know if you have a preference on how you want me, how we want to go about that, or
however you want to do it.
I'll give two entries to anyone who can unlock the thread. anyone who can convince the moderator to unlock our thread will get free two entries to the t-shirt raffle. No, and actually this is fine carrying this over for a month, for another month, the raffle, because hopefully in a month we'll have the new design selected. Which we're not selecting a new design today neither, because we don't have enough entries to select a design. Oh, that's right, which we changed that to the 12th. I'm sorry, I apologize. Right, that happens on the 12th. I'm sorry. That got moved from this meeting to the 12th by the request of one of the artists that has been and is submitting me some artwork for that. Which I guess I can find some of that for you guys and show you. Since I can't post it in the thread and you've seen it already.
So I did have a question about 1.7. Is multiple signatures something possible?
I'm sorry, what?
Multiple signatures?
I'll have to get back to you on that, though.
Yeah.
I believe so, yes, but don't put me on the record yet saying that.
All right. Got it.
What are the main changes in the next wallet?
That's going to be when you go to the staking for charity. Basically, you're going to be presented with a list of charities. A pre-populated list of charities. that you can select from.
So those will come with the wallet?
The wallet will talk to the web server basically and pull down the information when you start the wallet. It'll pull down the current information when you start it. So you won't need to upgrade to get a new list of charities because that information will be coming from the website.
We're missing a lot of what you're saying there, Steve.
I'm sorry. Okay, can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay. Staking for charity will have charities pre-populated for you that you can select. So you won't need to copy and paste an address from a website or anything like that. You'll be able to select it from a list, a charity to stake for or send a direct donation to if you want to. But you will still have the option to input an address if you want to. If you want to stake for your exchange wallet or anything like that, you'll still be able to, yes.
I still missed a bunch of that, but my big question there, though, was maybe we can clarify this real simple. Was about the pre-populated list. So would that come like preloaded with the wallet? And let's say if you decide not to sponsor one of those charities, would it just disappear if you wanted it to? Like, is that list? Is the wallet interactive with somewhere to reload a new list, or would we be locked in with 1.7 with a list of 10 charities, and now we only want 9? Would that mess us up? Would you need a 1.8 to change that?
No, that's what I've been trying to explain. That no, the list would be dynamic.
Okay, cool. That's the perfect.
Okay.
I couldn't find that word.
Yeah, and Bo's talking about multiple charities staking to. Yes, I mean that's possible. I'm not saying that it's not possible. But it would require a little bit of coding to do. But we can add that in there. But I mean that with you have to realize what you're asking for when you ask for that. Not only with the transaction itself, you're asking for twice the fees for those transactions. Which since you can stake for charity for 100%. That fee could be just one fee alone could be coming out of your pocket. So the second fee would be coming out of your pocket too. So, and from a user interface perspective, there's all kinds of questions that get brought into that discussion of do you only want 2? Is 2 the maximum? Right, but is 2 the maximum?
No, I mean any amount. I understand it's going to be work. When you don't have to do it now, it's just a question. I mean, is that possible?
Right. Yeah, but no, I understand any amount as far as percentage, but how many charities do you want to stake for at the same time? The maximum.
Let's say 3.
3? Okay. So, I mean, I guess that brings up my point that you're paying 3 transaction fees out of your pocket, possibly, at that point.
But it's all stakes, so it shouldn't matter too much.
Right, but you would instead of collecting 7%, you're giving away the 7%, and you're giving away 3 transaction fees.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
You'd pay a transaction fee for every one of those exchanges. For every one, they would be a different transaction. You know what I mean?
So I'd do 79%, 90%. I'm only kidding about that part.
Yeah, the percentage would not matter. As long as it can only total 100, of course. Yeah. And a lot of other wallets that do this don't even allow you to do 100%. I had to do a lot of code changes to even allow for 100% stake to go to charity. But yeah, that can be that can be done, yes, with 3 being the maximum. So, and just thinking out loud here, you'd be presented with maybe a list where you could select up to 3, and then you need to be able to input the percentage for each one of those. So each one needs.
Now, this may be a general question regarding proof of stake wallets, but it just dawned on me as I was listening to you guys talk there. Are the transaction fees basically burning coins on a POS wallet? Because they're not really going anywhere to the miners, since you're the miner yourself, aren't you?
There is no transaction. There is no transaction fee when you collect a stake. Okay, but with staking for charity, when you collect that stake, you instantly send it. You create a new transaction, sending it to someone else. To another.
Oh yeah, but I just mean in general, a transaction fee. Forget the third part. I have a transaction fee on my POS wallet. Where does that fee go? I mean, because we ourselves are running the system and like being the miners.
That goes to the miners, the people that are staking.
Oh, so that goes towards the 7% that people are making?
For someone else, probably, yes.
Right.
Right. For another miner, for another staker. Some people don't like me referring to that as mining, but it is technically mining. You are generating blocks. So.
Oh yeah.
Right. But I know some in the community will object to that, but technically speaking, I am completely right about it. But be that as it may. But yes, to answer your question, yes, a 3 charity max. But once we go from 2 to 3, we might as well be going from 3 to as many as you want.
Yeah, Mike brought that up too.
I'm sorry, what? Yeah,
Mike brought that up too. Mine is
Right, but there'll never be infinite number of. Infinite is an exaggeration. Let's just say that for many reasons that ain't even possible. There's not infinite addresses on the blockchain, so you can't have infinite.
It's a made-up word anyway.
But yes, we can look. I mean, if we're looking at 3, we might as well be looking at selecting many at that point. Which, from the UI perspective, I mean, there's limitations from Qt that I gotta make the user interface within. So I gotta operate within that confine. As far as being able to select many. But the biggest thing is getting the information in there, to be honest with you, from a technical perspective, making the API calls and whatnot in Qt. I doubt one of us is going to be the next Amazon. Not that we couldn't go that far, I'm not saying that, but we will not act in the way Amazon acts. I doubt you would be on this call or watching this recording if you shared the same, if you shared the same morals as Amazon. EverGreenCoin does not. and will not operate business in that way. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to, you know, I mean, I'm not saying anyone needs to give me the ideas for 1.7 today or anything. I mean, but you know, if you think of something, by all means, please let me know, of course.
Yeah, I'm actually more excited about the web wallet coming up.
Right, right. Yeah, and I mean, actually, in thinking about that, I mean, the web wallet, especially with it being everything that we are talking about with the solar staker and solar staking and that, at some point, you know, I was even thinking, well, does this even defeat the purpose of the solar staker device itself? If you can just essentially be staking solar by joining EverGreenCoin.org. So when I kick that around a little bit, I think it is good that we're going to have both options, to have a device yourself or join EverGreenCoin.org. I see no reason why you won't be able to do all this with no fees, no membership, etc., or anything like that. It will be a free service.
Well, I think that the solar staker is also a great idea, in combined with the web distributing it.
Right, yeah. I guess I was just, you know, thinking, well, if you can join, why do you want to buy a device? But I would want to buy a device myself.
He'll do both.
Yeah, and you know, and I can't deny that there's a security perspective of keys. If you're holding the keys, which you could to your EverGreenCoin.org wallet, I guess. But actually having the device, you know, I think a lot of people will like that too, especially if we're keeping it under $100 price. For that kind of money, I think anyone would be happy to have a.
Here's another.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
It's kind of hard to hear. You're getting pretty choppy on the voice there.
I apologize.
I don't want to interject too much.
I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I don't think there's a. I have poor internet connectivity, and that must be the issue.
What I wanted to share was an idea about that solar staker. I imagine that I know some people might not want to think of other coins, other currencies, but it might be beneficial to EverGreenCoin to sell these solar stakers and have people with other POS coins purchase them. And they could do their coin, and the solar staker could come with a preloaded Evergreen, not preloaded, yeah, maybe a slightly preloaded Evergreen wallet, or the wallet's on there, and they could do their coin and EverGreenCoin. So I think the customer base for that might be greater than just EverGreenCoin.
Right.
If the system that runs it is open, I'm not sure what's on there, like Linux or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's beyond me.
It's a Debian Linux actually, but yes, and we have discussed this, and I'm by all means I'm not against that idea or giving them, but there is with the current prototype solar stakers, we're using chip, and you would run into a limitation of maintaining two blockchains, and maintaining two blockchains, there's added consumption there. You're now using probably roughly twice the power you. Well, I shouldn't say twice. I'm sorry. You're going to be adding cycles for another wallet, so it's going to consume more battery. It's going to need more. Yeah, so it has to operate in that confined. I mean, I guess. I'm sorry, Kyle. Please go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so limited system resources, I imagine.
Right. Very. Yes. Very on these devices. Yes. Yeah, so we got to make it, you know, obviously the focus is to make it work for EverGreenCoin. If someone gets a device and they want to add another coin to it, I don't want to volunteer to support their other coin so much, but of course they could do that with the device once they had it. But would the device even be able to do another coin is a question. From both the power consumption and the storage space needed for another blockchain.
That can wait for the super solar staker.
Right. Well, yes, and this definitely will be a device that has new versions and I mean it will have to be from both a software and a hardware perspective. It will have to be. So yeah, there will be new models, let's say, I guess, in the future. I see Joe came on. I seen Tiger came online. Maybe wonder if he's gonna join. He came online on Skype anyway. So yeah, sorry my audio's cutting out. I'm sorry there's a problem with that. If there's something I've said that wasn't clear because of that, please let me know. So for the sake of the recording, I can reiterate. I'll shut down the Slack and stuff on my computer. Hopefully the audio won't be a problem. So what are you working on there, Bo?
Just going over some of the old stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anything we need to touch on?
I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't see anything in my notes. Well, I guess one thing, speaking of Joe, the Greeny report, I will be getting with Joe and hopefully perhaps this weekend, making a new Greeny report summarizing the month. That's what we're going to do. We'll have these community meetings weekly, but once a month I hope to get with Joe and make a new Greeny report just summarizing the month, basically.
I already have is Bitcoin Talk was the biggest thing. Roadmap's already done. Raffles.
Raffles are getting pushed back for another month, I guess. And we have the date for the T-shirt design of August 12th. I'm not sure if that will get pushed back. I mean, I have been getting some submissions, a few. We'll have to see how many we got on the 12th on that meeting.
Yeah, I gotta try to get with that guy Joe's working with and see if I can get him to do one for me too, or for my dad.
Oh. For the EverGold claim, you mean?
No, for the he wants to enter the T-shirt raffle, but he can't. You know.
I saw your dad's paint shop art.
Right,
Pretty
right.
cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah, me and Steve were talking about it. He's like, you should get him on MS Paint, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, and he did.
Its own special style.
Yeah.
That'll go in good with the grammar school crowd.
Oh, for us, he looks like a kid made it.
Yeah. I'm gonna share it on my screen real quick for the purpose of the recording.
Yeah. And I'm sure it was for fun, and it's fun.
Yeah.
But I was amazed. There's actually some detail. Like he does have the actual right number of tree limbs and everything.
Yeah.
Attention to detail.
Yeah. I thought it was awesome when I saw that.
Yeah.
That might just be the winner.
Uh-oh. I guess
You never know.
Yeah,
I can see that on a white T-shirt.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Might be our number one contender at this point, actually.
Hey, any of you guys? I know Steve doesn't. Kyle, or probably Mike doesn't either. But Steam it.
Oh, I do I have any? You mean do I hold any?
No. I use the actual media platform.
I read from it. I don't publish.
I do
anything on
not.
it. I don't publish anything on it. If that's what you're asking, no. I think I might have one thing published, but I might have experimented with it when it first came out. But I mean, when Steam came out, they kind of presented it like they had this great idea for this platform, and that's not necessarily true. They're not necessarily the first person to do what they're doing. So I guess I kind of admittedly held a little grudge against them for presenting it as they came up with this great idea for this platform to share publications, and I beg to differ a little bit. But I do read it.
Putting some stuff on it.
Yeah, I know Gabby's posted a lot of stuff specifically for EverGreenCoin, or pertaining to EverGreenCoin, let's say. I know he's posted a lot of stuff. I think there's probably more than a handful of articles related to EverGreenCoin floating around on Steemit now.
Yeah, I've read a couple of them.
Yeah, and I've been retweeting those.
Yeah, but for me, you asked, Bo, I am not too much into the social media stuff.
Yeah, no, me neither. But
Right. But we got to play well with others. We know.
Oh yeah. No, I'm a good lurker sometimes, though. You know.
Right.
So there's a purpose for it.
Y'all motherfuckers making fun of me?
What?
Did y'all making fun of me?
No.
No, we're not making fun of you at all, Mike. No, never.
No.
Okay, well, I don't have anything else in my notes that needed to be discussed, and I don't see anything in my prior notes that we need to retouch on that I have. Well, see, choose today. The ball's kind of in their court. I did last week email them and let them know that I am available to answer any questions they may have. But they haven't asked the questions yet, so we still have to see where that leads to. Okay. Well, I don't know. Unless Mike, if you want to use this platform to enlighten us on any recent political events that might implement environmental concerns or EverGreenCoin, please feel free to.
Dude, this is about life, man. We let the government dictate when it starts and how it manage how it ends. But this right here in between is the liberty that I get to enjoy. That's
Right.
all.
Well, I
Done.
mean, me personally, I think, and I think for the, I don't know if everyone, I mean, everyone on the call is from the United States, but everyone in the community is not. But everyone on the call today is from the States. But we need to not rely on our government to uh, make our environment better or anything. Here in the States, it's very evident that's not their concern. Um, so it is up to us to do that, I believe.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, everything the government touches, it turns to crap. Because it doesn't have to turn to profit. You see.
Right.
So eventually, Amazon will turn to crap, and somebody be better than them because they're not turning a profit. That's what businesses have to do. They have to turn a profit.
Yeah, but they have laws they have to operate under too. Antitrust laws, and I believe Amazon is breaking them. If we had Teddy Roosevelt, he would have broken up Amazon long ago.
And he also gave the federal government all the lands out here in the West that, we all that live out here pay taxes on that we don't own, but we're charged with making taken care of.
Right. Yep. Yep. And you got to pick up the trash. Right. Right. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here.
Well, it was great being here today.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you for stopping by. There will be a new announcement posted. You guys will all get links to it as soon as it's posted. That's going to be done as soon as possible. I hope it does. I'm still holding out that it'll happen this weekend, but please don't quote me on that. If I do need more time to get it done, or if I do need to get an artist to help me, I'll have to do that. But it is being addressed, like I keep on saying, and we are spending a lot of time on addressing it. So soon, I promise. Okay? Sound good, everyone?
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Okay. All right, guys. Have a great week, and I'm sure I'll see you guys next Saturday, if not sooner.
All right, take care, everyone.
All right,
Take care,
guys.
guys.
Take care. All right.